Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss about signal flow graphs. What is signal flow graph? The signal flow graph is used to represent the control system graphically. Signal flow graph was developed by S.J. Mason. The signal flow graph of a system can be constructed using algebraic S-domain equations of the system. I think you all remember how to obtain these S-domain equations. That is, first we will be writing the differential equation governing a particular system given by using basic laws governing the system. If the system is a mechanical system, we will be using Newton's laws. If the system is an electrical system, we will be using Kirchhoff law to obtain the differential equation governing the system. On taking Laplace transformation to the differential equation governing the system, we will end up with algebraic S-domain equation for a particular system. Those algebraic equations can be used for constructing the signal flow graphs. And in the signal flow graph, each branch will have a transmittance. And when a signal passes through a branch, it gets multiplied by the transmittance of that particular branch. Now, in this figure, I have shown you a example signal flow graph. In this, the points y1, y2, y3, y4, y5, y6 are called as nodes of this signal flow graphs. And the letters mentioned above or below the arrow marks, that is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. These are all called as transmittance of a particular path. And the arrow mark indicates the direction of signal flow. Yes, a node represents the system variable which equals to the sum of all signals. Outgoing signals from the node does not affect the value of node variable. That is, if you consider node y2, its value will be equal to a into y1 plus j into y3, because the node y2 gets inputs from two different nodes, that is node y1 and from node y3. So the value of node y2 will be equal to a into y1 plus j into y3. Branch. Branch is defined as a path from one node to another node in the direction indicated by the branch arrow. Here we can see that there is a path from y1 to y2, in the same way y2 to y3, y3 to y4, likewise y5 to y5 we can see a path, or y5 to y3 we can see a path. These are all called as branches, and signal flow through the branch will be indicated by the arrow. Transmittance. The gain acquired by a signal when it travels from one node to another will be called as transmittance. As I already told you, the values A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. These are all the transmittance of this particular signal flow graph. Input node or source node. It is the node which have only outgoing branches. Now look at the signal flow graph, and can you tell me which node has only outgoing branches? Node y2? No, because y2 has both incoming and outgoing branches. Node y6, it has only incoming branches, no outgoing branches. But if you look at node y1, it has got only outgoing branches. Only one branch is going out from node y1, so which is called as an input node or source node. In the same way, output node or sink is a node which has only incoming branches. which has only incoming branches. So in this particular signal flow graph, node Y6 has only incoming branches, so it can be called as an output node or sink. Forward path. It is a path from an input node to an output node in the direction of branch arrow. That is, we have to find a path from input node to the output node in the direction of arrows. Yes, in the given signal flow graph, we can find such a path. This path is called as forward path. Yes, this path takes us from node Y1 to Y6 in the same direction of arrows. So this is a forward path. Likewise, a signal flow graph may have many number of forward paths. Forward path gain. A product of all branch gains along the forward path is called as forward path gain. Here, what are all the gains or transmittance in this forward path? The transmittance are A, B, C, D, E. So the forward path gain of this particular forward path will be A into B into C into D into E. Loop. It is a path that starts and ends at the same node. But if a forward path is a path from input node to the output node, but a loop is a path that starts and ends at the same node. So in the taken signal flow graph, we can find such a loop which starts and ends at node Y2. From Y2 it starts and it goes to Y3 and comes back to Y2 by traveling through the transmittance of B and J. This is called as a loop. Non-touching loops. Loop is said to be non-touching if they do not have any common node. So let us consider these two loops. These two loops doesn't have any common node because the first loop has only nodes Y2 and Y3 and the second loop has only nodes Y4 and Y5. These two are called as non-touching loops. More particularly, these two are two non-touching loops. In the same way, if you can find three such loops which do not have any common nodes, then that will be called as three non-touching loops. In the same way, if we can able to find four such loops with no common nodes, then that could be called as four non-touching loops. Loop gain is the product of branch gain in the loop. So if you take the first loop, the loop gain will be B into J. The second loop gain will be D into I. What are all the basic properties of the signal flow graph? Signal flow graphs are only applicable to linear systems. Linear systems are the systems which satisfies the superposition principle. The signal flow graph consists of nodes and branches. A node is a point representing a variable or signal. A branch indicates the functional dependence of one signal on another. A node adds the signals of all incoming branches and transmits this sum to all outgoing branches. Signals travel along branches only in a marked direction, and you have to note that the signal can only flow in a branch in a single direction. If it can only flow in forward direction or reverse direction, both the direction signal flow is not possible in signal flow graphs. And when a signal travels through a branch, it gets multiplied by the gain of that branch. The algebraic equations which are used for writing the or drawing the signal flow graph must be in the form of cause and effect relationships. Now, the next topic which we are going to discuss is reducing the signal flow graph. In previous two videos, we have discussed about block diagrams and how we can reduce the block diagrams to obtain the overall transfer function of a particular system. In the same way, the signal flow graph of a complex system can also be reduced and we can find the overall transfer function of a system. The signal flow graph of a system can be reduced by using rules for reduction or by using Mason's gain formula. There are two ways by which we can obtain or we can reduce the signal flow graph. One is by using reduction rules or by using Mason's gain formula. The problem with using reduction rules is using the rules will be time consuming, and there is no procedural way of applying the rules. Each and every person can approach the problem in different way. So these are all some of the problems using rules for reduction. S.J. Mason has developed a simple procedure to find the overall transfer function of the system represented by a signal flow graph. Mason's gain formula is used to find the transfer function of a system. S.J. Mason has proposed a procedural approach for approaching the signal flow graphs and to find the reduced transfer function of the system represented by the signal flow graph. Now let us see what is being told in the Mason's gain formula. Mason's gain formula states that overall gain of a system, that is transfer function of a system, which is represented by C of S by R of S, which can also be stated as T of S, is equal to 1 by delta summation over K Pk into delta K. Here K is number of forward paths. So as we have already discussed what is a forward path, we are all familiar with the term forward paths. So if the system has 3 forward paths, the summation will be going up to 3 times. That is P1 del 1 plus P2 del 2 plus P3 del 3. Likewise it will be going. Pk is the forward path gain of kth forward path. Delta is the term which we are going to calculate by using the formula, that is 1 minus sum of individual loop gains plus sum of gain products of all possible combinations of 2 non-touching loops minus sum of gain products of all possible combinations of 3 non-touching loops, plus it will be going like that, etc. up to what will be the final combination which we are obtaining. Until then this formula has to be continued. So if suppose only we have sum of individual loop gains and sum of gain products of 2 non-touching loops, then we can stop that formula with it. Or if you have 4 non-touching loops, 5 non-touching loops, until then we have to use the formula. And del K is the delta for the part of the graph which is non-touching kth forward path. So the del K I will explain you while we are solving a problem. That is while taking a forward path, some part of the graph may be non-touching with that forward path, then you have to take that part of the graph or that part of the signal flow graph, and we have to find delta for that path. That is, for that path you have to look for individual loops, combinations of 2 non-touching loops, 3 non-touching loops, then you have to find delta for that path. While solving a problem, I will explain you clearly. So I think you will get revised to the concepts of signal flow graphs. In the next video, we will solve a problem on signal flow graph. Thank you.